This week, I was asked to find out a little bit more. Obviously, my team and I get to go down to Mexico a lot, but we were asked and challenged to find out a little bit more about the traditions. And so I figured one of my favorite bartenders in Mexico, Oscar, was kind of the man to go to. And so he sent me over a recipe, and I asked for him to jump on with me tonight and be able to kind of talk over about this recipe, where he got it from, and some of the traditions that go along with it. So I could not be happier to be on here and chatting with you. Thank you so much for your time, Oscar.
Yeah, it's a great pleasure to see you again, man.
So good to see you. I've made some of my stuff, but what I would love for you to do, for those who've never made this, is kind of introduce what you're going to be making tonight, and then talk us through the steps, and we'll hopefully be able to enjoy it at the end.
Yeah, for sure. We are making a very special recipe. It's called café de olla, and we are making like the special version that is called café de olla with piquete. We call piquete when we add tequila to the coffee. It's a very, very simple recipe. I'm going to make the original recipe, and I'm going to use this. This is the olla for the café de olla. It's basically a clay container. If you don't have any clay container that I suppose you have, you can use any pot you have, or you can also use like a French press or any coffee method that...
Yeah, I was able to do mine using a Chemex. That can be put straight onto the stove, and I was able to heat up my version of it with that. So the actual vessel is called the olla?
Yeah, this is the olla. And you know, it's made from clay, and the clay gives the coffee that earthy notes that it's very, very special for this coffee, you know? Well, we are going to add 1 liter of water. I have this water preheated. Here you go. And our first ingredient is going to be 1 stick of cinnamon. Then we're going to use just the half of 1 orange peel, just the skin, and the half of 1 star anise. And to give some aromas, we're going to use just 1 clove. And I'm going to use as a sweetener piloncillo. This is like a very special flavor for the café de olla. I don't know if it's available.
Yeah, I was able to get it. I used mine, but it comes like in a cone shaped, right? And it's like, yeah.
Something like this, you know. And it's like a very special taste, like a brown sugar taste. And we're going to put the coffee. I remember my grandpa used to make the café de olla with this pantyhose, like a coffee filter. I remember a lot. I don't know if maybe you don't have a pantyhose at home, but you can use any tea filter, or you can put only the coffee straight to the pot, and then use a hand strainer to filter the coffee.
Okay, but basically it's like a sachet like that you would put herbs or anything into, but you're just using some pantyhose because that works as well.
I remember, you know, like a fun stuff. I remember being a kid and asking my grandpa, what's that you're using? And a pantyhose, and I really didn't understand what a pantyhose have to do with the coffee, you know. And now we are waiting to, when we reach the boiling point of the water, we are going to turn off the heat and let the coffee rest for about 5 minutes. Okay, you know, the café de olla was created from the Adelitas. The Adelitas were the women who fought in the Revolutionary War in Mexico, and they prepared that recipe for all the army. So, and you know, it's a very, very special drink in Mexico, especially during the holidays, and there's a lot of variation of the recipe, but I think this is like the root recipe when you have the coffee, the orange peel, the star anise, the cinnamon, and the clove, and then you have a lot of variation depending on what part of Mexico you are.
So yeah, kind of similar to any kind of like stuff that, like a mole is a perfect example, you know what I mean? Everyone understands what a mole is, but everyone has their own special technique or twist on it. Kind of like a margarita, you know what I mean? A margarita can have so many different twists, but everyone knows what the traditional parts should be, and then you can spin off from there.
I remember my grandpa used to put some, we call chile morita. It's like a sweet pepper that grow in Chihuahua to give that spice note to the coffee, especially during the holidays, in the funerals when all the people gathering around the fire and you have like the coffee pot in the center. And I remember that special taste of the spice of chile morita in a coffee that is not a usual taste in a coffee,
So I guess when I was asking you about obviously this episode is about Dia de Muertos, and I wanted to I really want to understand a little bit more about that tradition, and so you said that this is a cocktail, or at least a beverage that would be enjoyed. We're enjoying a spiked version of it in just a little bit, but it's a very traditional beverage that goes along with this. What other traditions would you kind of participate during this time, and what does this holiday kind of mean to you?
The Dia de Muertos is a very special day for us. It's that day of the years when we honor the people we love that are no longer with us. And one of the most beautiful traditions that we have as Mexican is called the Altar de Muertos. We found a spot in our home to build the altar, and we put pictures, and we also put all the stuff that they used to love when they were alive. I mean, like the food, like the music, like the clothes, like the tequila, and it's a way to share with them, like if we were set on a table again with them, and it's a very, very special way to connect with them in an emotional and a spiritual way. And it's a very important tradition to keep those people alive every single year. Like my girls don't meet my grandpa, but this is the day when you sit in front of the altar and show, well, this is my father, this is my grandpa, and they love to eat that food and they love to play that music, and you can feel this connection, with the people that are no longer with us. It's a way to honor them.
It gives me chills to hear because it's super special, you know what I mean? That they get to, that this person's memory gets to live on by you passing that on and you remembering how special that person was. And so although they've never met him, they would know about that person. And it's such a great, you know what I mean? Like those kind of things. Now we're lucky that we have photographs, but that doesn't really sum up who the person is. And so talking about their favorite food and what they like to do, and if it was a sport or something like that they were interested in, like that's the person, you know what I mean? Getting to really be able to inform them about who their grandfather or that's really, really great. I love that tradition.
If you have the chance to see the Coco picture, it's a very good picture of the tradition, like in the mystical way,
You find that it is fairly accurate?
Yeah, I think it's fairly accurate in the mystical way more than in the traditional way, because we don't celebrate the Dia de Muertos is like very straight like you saw on the movie, but all the meaning, all the spiritual and mystical meaning that are involved in the movie, it's like the essence of the Dia de Muertos,
That's very cool.
that keep alive all the people that has passed away through all the generations. We have ready our coffee, so I'm going to serve it. This is boiling.
Okay, perfect. I'm skipping ahead.
Now it comes the fun part. Let's going to spike. That's the way you call a piquete.
Yeah.
I think maybe around 50 meals
Okay.
per coffee. I strongly recommend Patrón Reposado because it has these vanilla notes and these fresh agave notes, and it's like in between the blanco and the añejo. You have both of the of both worlds, and it's the best. And the perfect pairing for the café de olla is a concha, like it's a very traditional pastry from Mexico. And you can also find in Mexico a pan de muerto in this season.
Yeah, it smells amazing. Cheers to you, my friend. Thank you so much for explaining that to me. I really, really appreciate it. I feel like I've learned a lot. And so, yeah, for now, thank you so much for your time. Look forward to the next time that we get to actually sit across from a bar. So, I hope you and your family enjoy your day. And I will see you very soon. Cheers, my friend.
She's my friend. Always a pleasure to share me with my Patrón family.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. That's good.